Good morning, fellow aviators. Triton here again today. Doing another test flight. Testing hardware. Finally got my video card that I've been waiting on. Bought and installed. This is my first recording with the RTX 5090 in my computer I built just for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get everything rolling. We've got live weather, live time, setting in Natchitoches, Texas, I believe, and flying over to El Dorado, Arkansas. Stormy weather. I'm running the highest settings I've ever used to record and fly in. Currently, let's see, we are live time, live weather. Beyond ATC, hopefully running too. So let's get this plane up and going. Put a little power on. Let's see, turn some fuel tanks both over. Mixture in, prop full forward. I'm going to need to prime. Been a little while since I've been in the Comanche. One of my all-time favorite planes, though, if not the all-time favorite in this sim. Alright. Get our beacon on. Mags to both. Give it a little throttle, crack it open. Let's give it a crank, see if we can get her started. I like that. You can torque it over, yep. Alright, engine started easily. Actually a pretty nice day. Let's go ahead and get our navigation lights on. Let our engine warm up a little bit.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, looking to pick up our clearance to South Arkansas at Goodwin.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Fort Worth Center, clear to South Arkansas at Goodwin. Radar vectors karst and is filed. Maintain 4,000 feet. Expect 5,000 10 minutes after departure. Departure with me. Squawk 1014.
Cleared to Goodwin at radar vectors to Karth, then is filed. Maintain 4,000 and expect 5,000 10 minutes after departure. Departures with you, and I will squawk 1014 for November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, readback correct. Start or taxi at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 18.
We'll report holding short runway 18, November 610 Alpha Sierra. Okay.
November 6924 Hotel. Contact Fort Worth Center 135.25. See you. Center on 135.25, November 6924 Hotel.
Uh-oh. I think I fouled my engine.
Envoy 3651, contact Fort Worth Center 126.325. Take care. Contact Fort Worth Center 126.325, Envoy 3651.
but I think they'll work. This is just a test flight to check out everything and see how it runs on my new computer system anyway. Alright, let's get out here and we need to get our compass aligned. Let's see. That right there. Taking off runway 18, it said. Taxi down the beginning of runway 18 and we'll go ahead and take off. See how these clouds look in ultra settings, how they come out in the recording. I'm sure the recording's not going to look too good because I can only record at 1080 due to my monitor limitations. I need to upgrade it, but just find it hard spending money on a monitor I never look at, since I fly exclusively in VR with the motion rig and haptic feedback seat. And now that I've got my computer finished, which consists of a AMD 9800X3D processor. We got 64 gigabytes of Corsair RAM, 33,000 megahertz RAM, the CL30, or 6,000 I guess it is, CL30, holding short. Fort Worth Center, Comanche November 610 Alpha Sierra, holding short, runway 18, ready for departure. Get my departure mode.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, release for departure. Clearance void if not off by 1720 Zulu. If not off by 1720 Zulu, contact no later than 1730 Zulu. Time now 17.2 Zulu. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Alright. Nacogdoches traffic, November 610 Alpha Sierra, entering runway 18 for departure to the south. Nacogdoches traffic. Okay, and we have full power, release brakes. And rotate. Positive brake.
Center, American 873, flight level 330. American 873, Fort Worth Center, radar contact.
Fort Worth Center, November 610 Alpha Sierra. 800 feet, climbing to 4,000.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, reset transponder. Squawk 1014.
Squawk 1014.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Fort Worth Center, good day, radar contact. Climb maintain 5000, altimeter 3002.
3002. Climb and maintain 5,000. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Alright, now let's go ahead and
November 610 Alpha Sierra, contact Houston Center 134.8. Have a good day.
Houston Center on 134.8. Thank you for your service. Have a great day yourself. Houston Center, good morning. November 610 Alpha Sierra with you at 2,000, climbing 5,000.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Houston Center. November 610 Alpha Sierra, contact Fort Worth Center 135.25. Have a good one.
Over to Fort Worth Center on 135.25. Have a good one yourself. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Fort Worth Center, good morning. Comanche November 610 Alpha Sierra. Climbing through 2,800 for 5,000.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Fort Worth Center.
Okay. Let's activate our autopilot. We'll go to heading mode. Show off the graphics.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, contact Fort Worth Center 135.1.
Y'all just handing me back and forth, aren't you? Fort Worth Center on 1351 for November 610 Alpha Sierra. Have a great day.
Negative. Fort Worth Center on 135.1.
Fort Worth Center on 135.1. November 610 Alpha Sierra.
Negative. Fort Worth Center on 135.1.
Center on 135.1. Good morning, Fort Worth Center, November 610 Alpha Sierra, with you at 5,300 feet, descending to 5,000.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Fort Worth Center, good day. Jet Share 957, contact Meacham approach 122.905. Contact Meacham approach, Jet Share 957.
On. Okay, let's see. I still need to descend to 5,000. Let's drop down just a little bit.
American 2529, contact Fort Worth Center 126.325.
Contact Fort Worth Center 126.325, American 2529.
Okay, we'll level off at 5,000, and we are headed to El Dorado, Arkansas. Not El Dorado, other places, Texas. Spelled the same way, but pronounced differently. Yeah, those clouds do look gorgeous. Oh, wow. Nice lightning. Yeah, that's another thing they brought back in the Sim Update 3 beta, which I'm currently on, is live weather now has lightning when it should have lightning. Excellent. Not sure if I'll hear it. Got the headphones on. anyhow, I started saying when I started the flight, when 2024 was announced, way back in like June of 2023 or something, or May, I was working on outdated VR at that time already, but I wasn't, said I was going to build me a whole new computer for 2024 when it came out. And when it arrived, of course the sim was in a sad shape, but I still had to decide to go ahead and make the plunge and buy all the parts I needed for a new computer. Ground up, new case, new power supply, memory, everything. So I did get out. Instead AMD, converted over to AMD for the first time ever. 9800 X3D. Corsair 6000 megahertz CL30 RAM, 64 gigabytes of that. Wow, great. And 1000 watt Corsair power supply. Brand new motherboard, a gigabyte X870. Wi-Fi 7, Elite Wi-Fi 7 or something. And of course the final component was a video card, and that proved to be a bigger issue than I ever expected. I knew I was going to pay through the nose to get a new video card. Supposed to be retailing at $2,000, but I wanted the top of the line. I wanted the best I could get to start this sim out. Yeah, I waited and waited and waited. Never could get one at retail price, at least not when I decided. I got tired of waiting. I'm not getting any younger. I decided I was going to go ahead and spend the money. Got the 5090 in a week or so back. Been playing with it ever since, and I'm not looking back. It's definitely performs everything I expected. Pretty much right on target with what I was hoping to get out of one. Depending on my flying scenario, I can turn everything up to full if I'm flying in some remote regions, but I'm going to fly to some complex airports. I need a little headroom. I dial things back.
Blue Streak 5618. Contact Fort Worth Center 135.25. Center on 135.25. Blue Streak 5618. Take care.
And, show off the hardware, and hopefully the clarity comes out a little bit on this video. And also they showing off the new beta. Beta 3, the latest version, which I haven't, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's as of June 12th, the latest one, June the 11th actually. Anyway, we're flying over to El Dorado. Because of the weather down this way, and I thought I'd fly through it, see how the visuals look. And of course in VR they look much better than they do in 2D screen. But I am enjoying it. Finally got top of the line computer for a few days. Seeing what the other half that have been running on a nicer computer for a while have been experiencing, and then some. Needless to say, had to shell out some cash to build this new creation. Of course, that only was part of the deal. Also had to upgrade my VR headset with Windows phasing out mixed reality or not supporting it anymore. When I built the new computer, I wasn't going to be able to run my old HP Reverb G2. So I also, during the process of building, I ordered me a new IMAX Crystal Light. And with this card now, I can actually turn it up to full native resolution for the IMAX. I had been running it on originally low settings with my old computer. Then when I got a medium in-between card of 5070 Ti for a while, I was able to run it on medium settings with that. Now with the 5090, I can run it on high settings finally and take advantage of all the pixels that IMAX has to offer. Anyway, it's great. That's enough of that story, I guess. Let's see how far do we have to go. It's 110 nautical miles. We'll be flying for a little bit. Reach for my coffee. Clouds are stunning. Anyway, it's very, very believable. Not an appropriate representation, but by far the closest I've ever seen. Go into the clouds. There's my box. I'm getting it for big exfoliated rendering here. How dark things are. I'm still getting this box. It's better than it was.
American 873. Contact Fort Worth Center 126.325. Contact Fort Worth Center 126.325. American 873.
An artifact with big exfoliated rendering in the sim set. Definitely get improvement. Uh-oh. Phone call. me go ahead and turn it off and see what happens. Definitely gets rid of the box. I had it set back on. Quieten it down a little bit. I want to listen for that thunder, see if I can still hear it through my headset. Yeah, I'm getting a little bouncing back and forth. Out of those clouds. That was nice. They're definitely making improvements in the right way. Weather, turbulence. They get that weight turbulence working right. Really looking forward to that.
Southwest 2159. Contact Fort Worth Center 126.325.
5 miles to go.
Center on 126.325, Southwest 2159. Blue Streak 5430, contact Fort Worth Center 135.25. Have a good one. Center on 135.25, Blue Streak 5430.
I've got the best that I can achieve now on the simulation. The only thing that could possibly improve it would be some force feedback controls. I may think about that at some point in time, but at the moment I'm going to rest on what I've got and achieved with this system and wait for Microsoft to deliver on their product. Hopefully get the bulk of the bugs worked over. Now they're getting there. Taking much longer than everybody hoped, of course. Since we're what now, 7 months in, and we're still missing some core features that were promised and advertised from day one.
Envoy 3833. Contact Fort Worth Center 135.25.
Don't get it at all.
Center on 135.25, Envoy 3833. Have a good one.
Actually, we can turn that volume down a little bit. Fort Worth Center, November 610 Alpha Sierra. How's the turbulence looking up ahead? Let's see what that does to him.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. No turbulence reports available. Closest traffic is Frontier Flight 2360, cruising at 32,900 feet. 10 o'clock, 48.0 miles away.
Thank you, Fort Worth Center. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Most of the lightning must be behind me now. We have an airport down to our left. What is that, I wonder? Up our new improved EFB now that it works. Must be this airport right here.
Envoy 3471. Contact Fort Worth Center 135.25.
Cool.
Center on 135.25. Envoy 3471. Have a good day.
A little rain over here. Now we're able to see lots of little different runways. They've added that feature just recently. The EFB, it's coming a long ways too.
Fort Worth Center, November 421 Papa Papa, descending via Jaeger 4, 10,100 feet.
November 421 Papa Papa. Fort Worth Center. Radar contact.
No charts.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. Contact Fort Worth Center 123.925.
Center on 123.925. Good morning, Fort Worth Center. It's Comanche, November 610 Alpha Sierra, with you on frequency at 5,000.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Fort Worth Center.
We'll get a little bit of turbulence inside the cloud. Yeah, look at that. We break out again. I love breaking out of clouds in VR. It's just so realistic feeling. Alright, we're at 5,000 feet. Maintaining course. Not sure what highway that is. Let's see if we can figure it out. With what we have on board, I doubt that it's going to show any highways. Label them anyway.
Frontier Flight 2360. Contact Fort Worth Center 128.2.
Contact Fort Worth Center 128.2, Frontier Flight 2360.
Southwest 2467. Contact Fort Worth Center 128.2.
Contact Fort Worth Center 128.2, Southwest 2467.
Fort Worth Center, November 610 Alpha Sierra. What is the nearest aircraft to me?
November 610 Alpha Sierra. The nearest aircraft is Frontier Flight 2360, an Airbus AE 320, 9.3 miles at your 3 o'clock, cruising at 33,000 feet.
Thank you, Fort Worth Center. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Pretty cool.
American 2664. Contact Memphis Center 127.825. Have a good day. Contact Memphis Center 127.825. American 2664. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Contact Fort Worth Center 128.2.
Center on 128.2. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Bouncing me back and forth like Microsoft does.
Frontier Flight 20 2360. Contact Fort Worth Center 126.325. Center on 126.325. Frontier Flight 2360.
Fort Worth Center. This is Comanche November 610 Alpha Sierra on frequency at 5,000.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, Fort Worth Center. Southwest 2467. Contact Memphis Center 127.825. See you.
Contact Memphis Center 127.825, Southwest 2467. See you.
Let's see if we can find the El Dorado VOR. This new map.
Southwest 2488. Contact Memphis Center 135.875.
Center on 135.875, Southwest 2488.
Let's see, this doesn't.
Fort Worth Center, United 2120, flight level 350.
United 2120, Fort Worth Center, radar contact. United 2120, contact Fort Worth Center 26325.
Contact Fort Worth Center 26325, United 2120.
Southwest 1439, contact Memphis Center 135.875. Have a good one.
Contact Memphis Center 135.875, Southwest 1439.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, South Arkansas at Goodwin Airport, landing runway 4.
Landing runway 4 for Goodwin, Arkansas, November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra, altimeter 3008, expect the visual approach runway 4.
I'll expect the visual approach from runway 4, November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. Descend maintain 1,300. Altimeter tree 008.
Descend and maintain 1,300. November 610 Alpha Sierra.
Negative. Descend maintain 1,300.
Descend and maintain 1,300. November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. Descend and maintain 1,000. Vectors for the approach.
Descend and maintain 1,000. Vectors for the approach. November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. Airport is at your 12 o'clock 15 miles. Report the field in sight.
Looking for field for November 610 Alpha Sierra. Field in sight, November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. Cleared visual approach runway 4.
Cleared for visual approach, runway 4 for November 610 Alpha Sierra.
November 610 Alpha Sierra. No tower services available at South Arkansas at Goodwin Airport. Frequency change approved. Take care.
Frequency change approved. Thank you for your service today. Have a great one. November 610 Alpha Sierra. Alvarado, Goodwin traffic, November 610 Alpha Sierra is type Comanche on a 10-mile final for runway 04. Goodwin traffic.
Fort Worth Center, November 610 Alpha Sierra. Traffic information is unavailable. Please check the appropriate frequency for updates.
Goodwin traffic, November 610 Alpha Sierra. 9.5 miles out from runway 04 on final for landing 04. Goodwin traffic.